Hey guys, Owen Nisel here at the Elkhart Riverwalk Grand Prix 2025, part of the Ignite Grand Prix Challenge. I'm not going to do the last one, but I want to do this one as it's close to home, and I'm really just here trying to get some good learning time here. We are setting up, getting ready for this weekend here. I am partnering with Nick Bailey and his team. He helped me a lot last year, and he gave me he wanted me to run with him again and help each other, and I'm really helpful about that I can go and get some learning experience from him. He's been doing good in the Sierra Championship, and for me, it's a big learning year for me, and hopefully next year at Ignite I can start really putting some good results. But I'm really happy to what we're doing here today. I get some more footage later today, but I cannot wait to run this. We have first race around 5 p.m. So yeah. Hey guys, this is my little vlog I have for the Elkhart Grand Prix. So you hear some voiceovers during some of my racing here and some onboard footage with me. This is the practice session, the Friday practice session. I think it's practice session 2. This is one of my first times on the R80 tire here in Elkhart, and something, you know, that as you were going to see soon enough of just how apparently hard it was to put some temperature in the tires. It was pretty cold this weekend. It was a perfect weekend to drive, but it was colder than the weekends I had. It was about 75, and especially we're driving in the afternoon, so we're not really at peak sunlight. So we're about 73, 72 degrees. And on these hard compound tires, it's just really hard to get temperature. And I didn't really, hit my pressures for my PSI and correctly, as you're going to kind of see here. And especially that we're one of the first sessions out. I mean, this is the second session, so there is other carts that have already gone and put some rubber down. But still, it's we're still struggling for grip here. I'm sitting behind one of the people I worked with, Jimmy Jones here. He's gonna go into turn 1 here, and he's gonna try to flick it, and he just goes off. He didn't really feel like, he tried to think he had more grip than he did, and he did not. But I was kind of working with him all weekend. You'll see a lot of footage as I'm sitting behind him or I pass him. We were kind of the same pace all weekend, and to be honest with you, I had more pace than him. But for me, this was my third Ignite race, so I just was really trying to build confidence in what I was driving, and every session it was. And you're going to see some really cool stuff happen later down the line here. But I'm going into T4, and I lose it too. This was a scary moment for me. I was a little worried because, there's a lot of drivers heading fast. You see Jimmy just fling it. I felt so bad for what happened, I just didn't think I'd lose the grip here, and I was just... It just got off of me. I really think it was a temperature in my tires, and I kind of felt bad. I apologized after the session and said, "Hey guys, that was my fault for spinning out. I was just really trying to find the limit, and that's what we do as drivers." But it was frustrating to deal with. But I quickly jumped back in, and I kept driving. It didn't discourage me here. I'm gonna stop talking right now. I want you guys just to see a quick lap here on the Friday session just to see how I'm doing. So here we go. Day 2 of Elkhart Riverwalk Grand Prix. I qualified 8th out of 11. A little lower than I wanted, but I'm only about 4 or 5 tenths off 3rd and about a 2nd behind the leader. And I wasn't really in a draft during quali. Got a little backed up by some back markers, and so it wasn't like the greatest is what I wanted, but I'm happy that I have pace. I can go out there if I play my cards right, maybe even get a podium here. Maybe even a top, but again, I'm trying to put my cards right, work with the guys with me, Funny enough, me and this other dude qualified the exact same time, 51.993, but it's gonna put them ahead either faster or second lap time. But for this morning, we'll warm up around 9:30, and then we have 3 races. So that's why I say it's about more of a war of attrition and getting your card across the line. But that's what we're here for today. Elkhart. 260 machine.
She's been running good. Smooth, nice, and I'm really happy with her performance yesterday. Didn't really have a lot of adjustments I needed to make, little adjustments, as it is very cold. Or not cold, but just colder than what it was for last year, and so these tires, these R80s, are struggling to get up to temps. But I'm really excited for what we're gonna do today. I can't wait to show you guys some footage of what the races will look like. So I'll see you guys soon.
Alright guys, welcome to the practice session of the Saturday after my qualifying was decent. Out of 11 drivers, 8th. It wasn't the greatest I wanted, but again, I was running a soft axle with a little bit of a extreme setup. I really wanted to kind of see try a different axle to try here. But I'm showing you this practice session, one, because the footage looks really good, but also I want to show you my mistakes. I made a big mistake here in my practice session. Is up here with me and Jimmy Jones again, but I want to show my mistakes of just, what happens, what we're doing here. We're pushing hard, and for me, I was just pushing too hard. I didn't really know how much grip I had with these hard compound tires, and this was around 9 a.m. It was very early in the morning-ish. And so I really had no grip. As you can see, someone already punted it in the wall in the first practice session. We were pushing too hard. And actually, I'll talk more about that guy that put it in the wall, because he comes back, rebuilds his kart, and me and him go on a tear during the final. But as you see, I'm here with Jimmy, and we're just trying to find the grip levels here. And this is the lap here. This is actually the next lap. But what happens? I get a decent run. Not the greatest run out of 2. But I come up to Jimmy pretty quick with a good slipstream and a higher gear. But the problem is he brakes, and I just don't expect it. And it's completely my fault. And I brake, I tap a little bit, and I'm in the wall. The kart gets, we're that in 3A, 3B, what I call the S's, is that the kart, it just kind of got uneven. I braked a lot, very heavily, rotating the kart and locking up, including just a bad control. And I'll speak to more about that in the next session here, but I really just want to show you an onboard of what the practice session looked like. I put in a decent time for P7 in this onboard here, so I'm going to show you. Welcome to the Elkhart Grand Prix Margay Ignite Senior Final. I'm starting 8th place out of 9 here that made the final. It will say 11 because that was how many drivers that started the senior Ignite Senior class, but only 2 of them crashed, and I guess I could get to the final. But it's still out of 11 drivers that were registered and that were driving through the weekend. But you're here with me, and we are on our pace lap here, right behind AJ Balthies in the green go-kart. I do catch up to him, but not till a little too far. But Jimmy Jones to the right of us, as well as behind me is Ethan Pogue. He's a kind of a newbie like me, and why I'm saying his name and why it matters is because he gets to help push me and himself all the way up to 5th and 6th, respectively, by using teamwork and the power of friendship. We push our way up through this field, and I'm going to show you and kind of go through a play-by-play of kind of what I was really thinking during this race as we get here, and we start as I kind of duck in, and really now coming back to it and looking over this footage, I really should have just kind of dive bombed Jimmy in the beginning. To have him behind me would have let me stay with front pack and let me maybe work, because after a while you see I kind of just get pulled away. I mean, he gets a good run, and I don't. I mean, a lot of it is me, and my setup was not really correct at this point in time. It was a good setup because it actually became one of the fastest setups during the late portion of the race. But in the beginning, my tires were just too cold. So I have and wrote down some notes and have some ideas I want to try next year at Elkhart, because I know next year I can go out there and win. But as you're seeing here, as we finish the first lap, I am 8th place right now. And I sit 8th for a pretty long time. I really had no clue what to do. At this point, I was like, all right, well, let's see what I can go do here. And my whole goal was to stay with the guys in front of me, and you can see they kind of pull away here in the first couple laps. But me and Ethan behind me just really play good teamwork, because to be honest with you, and I spoke to him after the race, and he was like, I could have passed you a lot many times, but I knew that if we worked together, we could catch up to the pack and maybe make some good plays and good passes. And, you know, that I didn't really speak to him a lot because he was having a lot of mechanical issues, and I came by and said hi to help him, and because, you know, that's what this community has been about, is about, you know, making everyone go out there and drive, because that's really what we're there for, to do, is have fun. And if you can help someone get to there, and I was teaching him and his dad, they really wanted to know how these carts operated. But as you're coming here now, we're on like, I think 4th or 5th lap. I did skip a lap because, again, nothing really happened. You can kind of see me slowly catch up to Jimmy. He's kind of losing some pace here to the guys in front of him. And if you see and notice, I signal Ethan to push me to get to Jimmy. And you can see this here as we go into 3A, 3B. My favorite turns, by the way. As we come down to turn 4 here, I get a pretty decent run, but I go a little shallow, and Jimmy gets kind of a better run. But what I'm going to do is, as I get pushed by Ethan. Sorry, Steve is his father. You see me push him, called bump drafting. Especially at a track like Elkhart where it's long straightaways. That's the best way to catch up to the pack in front of you. And I'm going to see if I can get some aerial footage and show you kind of like a little piece, and I don't know if I can find it, if I can, is that around this point in time, as there were 9 drivers racing, there was 3 sets of 3 packs. So we had 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then 7th, 8th, and 9th. And that happens for a while until the 4th, 5th, and 6th pack kind of slowed down. And I go shallow here like an idiot. That's why I tell Ethan to push me again and see if I can catch to him. Because it's exactly what I do, is I get to Jimmy, and you'll see what happens soon enough. As I go through here into turn 2 now, I get a really good run, and I'm really happy about that. And you guys see this here. It's a decent run. I mean, he gets an alright run. I could have gone a little later, but look, I just go for the pass here on Jimmy. He sees it. He knows that I have more speed through the turn. I mean, I didn't really want to because Jimmy helped me a lot, but I kind of like figured out, I'm like, oh shit, I got some pace here. As well as that, funny enough, I don't have the footage from my angle, but from Ethan's angle, that was the number 25 behind me. He ducks and passes Jimmy on that same turn of 3A, 3B I passed Steve on. Or Jimmy. It was really funny that he's like, I'm going to keep up with you and keep pushing you. That's exactly what we did. As now I'm in 7th place, passing Jimmy. Jimmy gets shuffled to the back, but he does stay with us, and that was a really awesome. Just know that he stayed with us. He was also running the 2-cycle engine, so he's always kind of saying that it was kind of hard for him to adapt to the 4-cycle as it was slower, and it requires a different type of finesse and driving style than those 2 cycles. He did really well and got 3rd place actually in his Ignite 100 race during Elkhart. So as you can see now, we are now catching up to 6th, 5th, and 4th. That 2nd pack I spoke about. Brady Tyler in front of me in the 31. He actually won the night before during the Money Dash. He was pretty good this year, and he's been really good in that challenge. I think he just had a rough race. It looked like he couldn't really keep the cart down, but he was also trying to fight with Zach Buchanan up there and AJ Balthes that actually passed Zach. And so we start to catch up to the leaders now. So now the second pack and the third pack are all one big pack, and the top three are skidded away somewhere. God knows. And I try to go for a pass here. I try to be confident on Brady Tyler, but Brady Tyler plays really good defense. I said I don't want to be that man, you know, because I know he's a guy that would squeeze me. I mean, if I pulled that off, I would have the inside corner, the T4, but as you just saw, I just got pushed by Ethan. I think he didn't really know is that Brady slowed down a lot, so it's kind of boom, boom, boom. So I was like, I'm gonna try to go around him before a second run here, and I do. And I really wasn't confident about this, and I had to duck in, and I almost spun out there. But you can see here that Brady, his car just is not wanting to stick to the ground. You know, it could just be a bad setup, and that always happens. You know, this is in racing. It's not like you can't have a good setup like every single time. It's just not possible. So many variables to look at, from tire temperatures to humidity and and so. But he was really pushing this kart well, and he did really good all weekend. So I have nothing but praise for Brady. But yeah, here I go. I get pushed by Ethan again, and I said, I can't let this happen anymore. I'm just gonna go for it. And that's exactly what I do. I just go for the inside. Brady knows it. He tries to hold it, but I have Ethan behind me pushing me to the front of the pack, or front past Brady. So now I'm in 6th place now. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how I got here. I just couldn't really believe that I was really having this much pace, especially all weekend. I was kind of the back foot still. So this was the only third Ignite race, so there was still a lot of things to learn. And then up there, you can see Zach and AJ trying to battle here, because this is the white flag lap. There is one more lap after this, and then we're done. And so yeah, I mean, I didn't really clip the whole thing, but as we come down into turn 4, goodness. They're still pretty ahead of me. I think maybe I can catch them. Maybe I can. And something happens here on the final lap. The top 3, Aiden Leiber and 2 others, were fighting, and Aiden gets punted. And you can see it right here. There's Aiden right there. So now I'm up to 5th place, because sadly Aiden spun out there at Elkhart. He actually did go win the Ignite 100, so congrats to him. And I think, if I didn't slow down that much for them, for that spin out, I might have caught up with, with Zach and AJ to maybe even go for a 3rd place finish here. But I just did not, I was just, a couple kart lengths behind, and I really haven't. But starting this race about 8th or 9th place, pretty much the whole weekend, to come out and finish 5th was just a huge success for me. And I am so happy of what I accomplished and everything. And thank you guys for listening to my play-by-play of the final. Hopefully I have another YouTube video out soon. And thank you. Follow me on my socials. Owen Nisel. Facebook, same thing, Owen Nisel. And I have those in the link in the description below to see some more footage of me driving. Awesome. Thanks, guys.